So despite the beard and the aura of smugness, I don't actually have any messianic pretensions. I've never forgiven anyone for anything in my life. But I'm on my way to Heathrow to fly to America to make a one-hour special about why we believe things. I'm not known in America, so I can use 5 different fictional names to approach 5 different influential people who promote various paranormal belief systems. And using my skills of magic, suggestion, psychology, misdirection, and showmanship, I want to see if I can convince them that I have special abilities in their particular fields. And the idea is to see how easy or hard it will be to get them to endorse me. Whether we believe in psychic ability, crystal energy, alien abduction, talking to the dead, or Christianity, we are rightly or wrongly buying into a very powerful belief system. Now, I'm not interested in attacking anyone's beliefs, but I think as intelligent human beings, we should be prepared to question our beliefs and the people who encourage us to make life decisions based on the information they give us. And that's what this show's about. In this show, you'll see me pose as Daniel Owen, the psychic who can see what you're drawing when you're in a different room. James Lawrence, who can convert you to Christianity with a touch. Robert Frawley, the New Age entrepreneur with a machine which records your dreams. Richard Collins, the alien abductee who is left with an ability to sense your medical history. And Fraser Sherwell, who talks to the dead. I'll meet a high-profile expert in each of those 5 areas, and I'll try and get each to endorse me as the real thing. If at any point they ask me if it's a trick, I'll say yes and I'll own up. But the question is, will they ask? You're sharp enough to question what I do because you know I deal in illusion. It's all about questioning. But there are beliefs we're not encouraged to question, and these are often the beliefs upon which we're asked to make important life decisions. These are the areas where we should test and look for misinformation, and where the big names in those fields should apply the same rigor, because often we're making those life decisions based on the information we get from those people. The psychics are the first people I have to try and convince. It is making me a bit nervous, because I know I can't give a performance as I normally would, you know. It feels like someone who's learned some sleight of hand magic going in to cheat at a game of poker with top poker players. And again, if the psychics ask me if it's real, I will tell them no, and I'll come clean. Sedona is a whole town based on circular belief systems. 1/4 of the people here think they're psychic, and 4 million people a year come to visit this self-proclaimed spiritual mecca and sample its energies and its vortices and its other quite possibly imaginary constructs. The town is a mixture of undeniable beauty, tackiness, and big business. This is the Sedona Creative Life Center. This is where you come to be taught psychic ability. It has a massive profile. People come from all over the world to attend its famous workshops and seminars. We're going to talk to a woman called Abby Hayden. She's a very well-respected and published teacher here, and she'll be accompanied by some other people from this very successful center who also teach such abilities. These are the people who encourage you to be psychic and transform your life. These respected psychics have been told that I, Daniel Owen, developed psychic abilities after being struck by lightning 10 years ago. The remote viewing test is a classic psychic demonstration, and this is what I'm going to replicate, except I don't have any psychic abilities. There's a lot of teaching, a lot of people come from all over the world. But how do you begin to go about teaching something like developing a psychic ability? How do you do that?
It's basically reminding people they already have these gifts and to kind of wake it up within them, to help them see their own inner gifts.
I mean, I imagine if you're giving advice to people that they may make life decisions based on the information that you're giving them, and for me that's quite a frightening responsibility. I don't know how would you know that that's authentic?
My motto is if someone comes and asks me to do something, that means I can do it, whether I've ever done it or not. So that, and having that attitude, just being open and knowing that this person was guided to me and I must be able to give them the right information, has really helped me to develop a lot of things.
For my demonstration of remote viewing, Abby will draw pictures in another room without anyone seeing her, and I'll try and pick up what she's drawing. When psychics do this as a test, the results are pretty poor. It's roughly what you get for guessing.
Now, what is it you want me
Well,
to
I'm going
draw?
to get you to draw it like this. I'm going to get you to draw a picture.
Okay.
All right? All I'd say is keep it relatively simple. Please don't make it too detailed.
Right,
because then it gets messed up. You shout ready when you're done. Focus on the picture. Step into it a little bit and imagine that it's vivid and real. That really helps me. And I will try, again, I'll get these guys to write down whatever impressions I get. Abby's isolated in the other room, and no one can see whatever she decides to draw. She hasn't been prepared for this, and she can draw whatever she likes. Yet I will try and tell what she draws from the next room. There's no screens or anything up that could be giving me any information. I'm not wearing any earpieces or anything like that.
No.
Forgive me. But it's important that people know that.
Dimensional objects that we can see with our physical eyes.
Absolutely. Okay, Abby, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Whenever you're ready, I'd like you to draw a picture. Please make it nice and large and clear on one whole sheet of paper.
Okay.
Please.
I'm starting to concentrate on it now.
Okay, I would say just really simple. This is essentially quite a simple shape. It feels quite abstract. It doesn't feel like a person or a thing or anything recognizable. I think it's quite abstract. Just give me a minute.
Okay.
I would say it's a... You know, it feels like a religious thing, like a cross. A tree or a shrub, something like that. So yeah, something more organic in there too. So I get the cross, I think, and the tree, I think. Tree or shrub, and that. Okay, that's the first one. Okay, all right. Do a second one.
Okay.
This is like a curving, like a banana. I go with banana. All right. Okay, so again, you just let different images just sail through your mind. Don't go overboard on detail. Please keep it simple. All right. Oh, it's on water. Again, it's that rocking motion on water. Another one. If it's like a warm, if you put like a warm face, so it may be the sun or. Yeah, okay, I think we're done. All right, excellent. You sit down where you were before. This is what we got for number one. Simple, abstract, I got a cross, and then I put a tree or a shrub.
Right. Okay.
Is the next one a banana? Let's have a look.
Yes. A big banana.
Great.
Banana? Because I was
It's such a
thinking
clear
banana, and then as you'll see, what comes out after I draw it is another thing, but...
Okay, so the next one I put, what did you, water?
Something moving on water.
Water moving on water, ah.
And there we go.
It's a boat.
that I could draw.
Okay, well, next one. Yeah, face personal, sun warm.
Incredible. That's amazing.
He's going to take my job.
Well, the first thing I did was I looked in his eyes when I met him as a professional, and what I saw was sincerity.
I think he is qualified. He does have ability. I would recommend him to some place because, you know, we've kind of witnessed that he does have ability.
As a person who trains psychics, I would have them watch that film and say, this is how you do it.
Well, my first endorsement from some leading professionals. They seemed really happy to accept me as qualified. Now it was time to head east. People's beliefs are not the issue. It's the way we relate to those beliefs, you know. And certainly the people out there who have the beliefs, the people who are getting that information and forming those beliefs and living those lives, they're not the people to have a go at, they're not the people to laugh at. You know, it is the people who are putting the beliefs out there. It's the industries behind them that are worth just taking a look at. Coming up, I'll be James Lawrence, who can bring about Christian conversion through a touch, and Robert Frawley, who's built a miraculous dream catcher which runs on crystal energy. It's been a successful start, but will I convince a sharp businesswoman and an evangelical pastor that I'm real, and will they endorse me? The journey in America continues as I present fictional identities to respected and influential figures behind powerful belief systems and see how easily they'll endorse me as the real thing. I used to be a full-on happy-clappy Christian till my mid-20s, and then I started to realize that my belief was just as prone to circular logic and self-fulfillment as all the New Age nonsense which bugged me. And then reading the New Testament as a historical document finally rid me of any religious belief. But if I can convert people through non-spiritual methods, how many other people are out there doing the same thing in their own way? And this isn't about criticizing anyone's belief, but I'm amazed at how quickly and easily we can be made to adopt a belief that we're told is universally true and part of our identity. Religions tend to encourage either high-energy crowd activity or candlelit monotony to invoke a suggestible state amongst the congregation. Many revivalist preachers seem to have a magical touch that brings the power of the Lord into a person. People are reported to suddenly fall back as if they've been swept off their feet by the Holy Spirit. I've come to Rhode Island as James Lawrence, who after a dramatic religious awakening has been left with the ability to convert people with a touch. I'm feeling a little bit anxious about this one, but it's makes it more exciting. But it's great, you know, will they say to me, even with all of that, will they say, is this just a trick? If they say, is it a trick, I will say yes, and I will thank them so much for actually asking that question. So I'm here to meet a guy called Kurt Nordheim, who's a very successful, very affable, professional minister and author here in New England. And his speciality is in evangelizing to immigrant communities. Let me read you here a quote from the ministry. The huge influx of foreign people groups into this nation can be viewed in two ways. They can be seen as a threat to our way of life, both spiritually and culturally, or they can be viewed as an opportunity for evangelism.
My understanding of evangelism is that it's done in relationships. So in other words, I'm not going to leave the building here tonight, and when I go to the hotel, start talking immediately to the person behind the desk and saying, do you know Jesus Christ, or something like that. I'm not going to do that. I try to form relationships through whatever means that I can, joining a racquetball club, playing tennis, inviting them home for dinner, that type of thing.
Will Kurt believe in my gift, and will he endorse me? My name's James Lawrence. None of you will know me. You wouldn't know me if you were British either. The people you see here responded to an advertisement to come to a discussion on spirituality. They're almost all atheists and non-believers. I shall convert them with just a touch. You don't believe in anything? I mean, are you kind of like...
Yeah, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in angels, I don't believe in, guardian angels, fairy godmother, ghosts, relatives coming back from, the dead to give you, special messages to make you feel better.
I really don't believe in those things either, but yeah.
Everyone in my family was a different sort of religion. My grandmother was devout Catholic. My grandfather was Protestant. My mother was Mormon. And all those things tried to get forced on me, and I just never, I don't know.
But then just be honest, okay? As skeptical? Be honest.
I guess I kind of understand what I'm feeling that they were talking about.
Yeah? In what way?
That my grandma always used to tell me that when she was praying before she went to bed, when she got up in the morning, she always felt like she got she called it her inner hug. And she said it just kind of felt like two arms wrapping itself, you know, around your heart, around your lungs, just an inner hug. And I guess I kind of understand a little more what she was talking about.
Some of the people have left because they were uncomfortable with the instant conversion. And I'm just going to go back in a minute and see if anyone's left, because I want to carry on. I want to see if I can do this. But for the moment, it's a bit of drama. We had a bit of an interruption there, because I think some people got a little bit uncomfortable with that and have left. So if it's all right, we'll just carry on with you guys. Thank you for staying. It's fair enough. So just want to carry on talking about what we were talking about. Are you feeling all right? You still?
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's just kind of a weird feeling.
Do you believe in God? Do you think this would be a good thing to do, or do you think it's just self-deception?
I think if it works for them, you know, I'm not going to discourage people from their beliefs, but how could you believe or worship in a higher being, you know, that they choose to call God, that's supposed to be loving and supposed to be merciful and kind, but yet, you know, and then they talk about free will and this and that. Well, it wasn't a 3-year-old's free will to die of, you know, leukemia and things of that nature. That's what makes me just don't buy it.
Okay. All right. Are you happy for me to try this with you too?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Can you just come around here for me? Maybe if you just stand there for me, but face, let me just put you there like that. Okay, just put your feet together for me. And I want you to know you're not going to hurt yourself or anything like that, all right? Mm-hmm. So we'll catch you when this happens. Just want you to face that way and just, you know, just let whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. Okay? Stay there for a minute. Sit up for a second. Talking very skeptically a moment ago about any kind of belief in God. You said it's that, you know, you couldn't believe in that at all. How do you feel now about that? Be honest. Be honest.
I think that I would be, I don't want to call myself ignorant, but I would be, I wouldn't be doing the right thing due to what just happened and occurred to me if I didn't, you know, think that there was a possibility that maybe my belief and maybe my opinions aren't correct.
Okay. So you're saying you are now ready to accept the idea that there's a God that you wouldn't be prepared to accept beforehand? I'm not putting words in your mouth. I just want you to clarify for me.
Due to especially what just occurred with me,